ID. If that captures everyone.
What if I told you there was a misunderstanding factor affecting your financial gain? Raise your hand if you like money. I love money. And with the help of the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, I found, which is a credible source of course, I found information that could concern why your financial situation is the way that it is. With this information, I came up with the thought, your financial situation, your financial gain, and your job outlook is all dependent on your education. Your financial gain is controlled by education, is controlled by your education, because with higher education, if we see the statistics, your weekly pay goes up. If we look at the top of the bar graph, we'll see that people with a doctorate get around $2,000 a week. People at the lowest bar graph, make only $600. This being people without a high school or below a high school education. That is a $1,400 difference. That is massive. And it doesn't get any better when we look at job outlook. When we look at job outlook, it actually also scales with education. People with doctorates only face 1% of the rate of unemployment. Wow, if we look at the bottom of the graph, they face 5.5%. That is a massive difference. If someone were to tell you that you would face either 1% chance of unemployment or 5.5%, I believe it's a very clear difference. This leads to another question. Why is it that people with doctorate degrees make so much and have such an easy time finding jobs? Well, this is because people with that degree have a lot of years of education. Companies, when they hire you, the first thing they do is they look at your education. They look at what you have and what you have as a certificate to prove that you have knowledge over a concept. With a doctorate, you have a lot of years of education. You have a lot of things you've mastered in order to gain that degree. What this means is you don't have to be a specific job. You can fluctuate between a bunch of different jobs because that's how qualified you are. While a person without a degree, or of course at the bottom of the graph below a high school degree, would struggle. They wouldn't be able to say, I could do the job because they don't have any proof. They don't have any proof that they have these skills. They might, but jobs need this. What this means is people at the bottom cannot just get into any job. They can only get into entry-level jobs maybe. They get into jobs that don't require a certificate and or much to any years of experience. This also correlates to why the pay is so low. If you can get into any job immediately, then why would they pay you a lot in order to specialize into it? They wouldn't. That's why their pay is low weekly, and that's why their job or their rate of unemployment is also really high. These jobs usually have high turnover, meaning that they get people and lose them very fast. There's reasons why they don't keep people on. One of the reasons is prestige. People with education tend to have a feeling of more, I would say, pride. They feel more proud they got their job because they worked towards it with a degree. People without any degree usually struggle when it comes to the job market because let's say a person with a high degree chooses not to go with one of the higher paying jobs and instead goes with an entry-level job. They still would get picked over a person without any degree because the rule of thumb is the higher education, the higher the the chance of you getting hired. This isn't always certain, and of course it's all statistics. However, it's so prominent that it's valuable to learn from. So, we talked about how the people who make the highest amount of money are usually the people with the most amount of education, and the people who have the lowest weekly pay usually have the lowest. Why am I telling you this? Why does it matter to you? Well, you can look at yourself and you can wonder what type of position you're in financially through these measures. You can look at the education you currently have, and you can then deduce, most likely through, of course, the statistics of the 2022 analysis, and denounce what you think your job outlook would be. This could also wager into what you would then choose to do with your further education, or with if you were looking to switch jobs. Main point. These findings are so prominent and show such a direct graph coinciding that it's important that we look at it and analyze it. Job outlook and job pay is highly influenced by your education level. Your time, your weekly pay, and your rate of unemployment factor in heavily with where the line crosses with your education. Where the line ends with your education is usually how much you make and your chance of getting a job due to these statistics. It isn't certain, of course, but it's very valuable to look at. What can we do with this information more than anything is to use it to our advantage. It's important that we have such valuable information at a time like this, that we analyze it and use it to our benefit. It's important that we use it not to scare us, but instead to put us ahead. I believe knowledge is the key to conquering anything.